Today, we are going to continue to talk about budget line. Before explaining the slope of the budget line, let's talk about the slope of a straight line. It has to be noted that budget line is a straight line. A property of a straight line is that it moves on a straight path and do not change direction. A straight line travels in a constant direction and does not have a curvature. It can be a vertical line that goes up and down or horizontal line that goes from right or left or vice versa. The slope of any line is nothing but the ratio of the change in vertical intercept to the change in horizontal intercept. It has to be noted that the general equation for a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c, where y is the y-intercept, m is the slope, and c is the intercept on the y-axis, which I'll explain further in the coming slides. As we explained in the previous video, the budget line is the set of bundles that cost exactly m. P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to m is the equation of the budget line. Rearranging this equation using symbol algebra and bringing P1x1 to the right hand side, we get P2x2 is equal to m minus P1x1. And taking P2 to the right hand side, we get x2 is equal to m by P2 minus P1x1 by P2. So keeping this in mind, since the budget line is straight, the change of x2 with respect to the change of x1, which is nothing but the ratio of change of vertical intercept to the change in horizontal intercept, it will remain constant throughout the graph, or the slope will remain constant as the budget line is a straight line. Since it is straight, it follows the general equation y is equal to mx plus c, and the equation 1 depicts the same. Here, y-axis, that is x2, equals m by p2, which is the intercept on x2, and the slope minus p1 by p2 times the horizontal axis, which is x1. I'll explain on the coming slides about how the slope of the budget line became equivalent to minus p1 by p2. Moving on to the slope of the budget line, its slope is nothing but the ratio of change in vertical intercept to the horizontal intercept as we have mentioned above. This is nothing but the ratio of change in consumption of good 1 to the change in good 2. In other words, it represents the rate of exchange of 1 unit of good 1 for 1 unit of good 2, which is explained below. We know that P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to m is the equation of the budget line. Suppose that the consumer is going to increase his consumption of good 1, then the consumption of good 2 should decrease in order to be on the budget line. Let us indicate these changes by delta x1 and delta x2, which represents the change in consumption of good 1 and good 2 respectively. The equation of the budget line also changes accordingly. P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to m was the original budget equation, and it changes to P1 into x1 plus delta x1 plus P2 into x2 plus delta x2 is equal to m. When we subtract equation 1 from 2 as in simultaneous equation model, we get P1 delta x1 minus P2 delta x2 is equal to 0. Cross multiplying, we get P2 into delta x2 is equal to minus P1 into delta x1, and rearranging the same, delta x2 by delta x1 is equal to minus P1 by P2, where delta x2 by delta x1 is nothing but the slope of the budget line, and this becomes equivalent to the price ratio. Here the slope is negative as the budget line shifts from downwards to the right. That is, if you have to consume more of good 1, you have to consume less of good 2. This is the opportunity cost of good 1. Now let's talk more about the concept of opportunity cost. It is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. Here the potential gain from the consumption of good 1 will be lost if the consumer decides to consume more of good 2. The opportunity costs are the true economic cost of consumption. The budget line entails constant opportunity cost throughout as it is a straight line. Now let's talk about how the budget line shifts as the income of the consumer changes. An increase in income will result in a parallel shift outward of the budget line, since the consumer can buy more of both the goods as seen in the graph. Similarly, a decrease in income will cause a parallel shift inward. The slope of the budget line remains minus P1 by P2 in case of a change in income, as the direction and curvature of the line remains the same. Now what about the change in prices? Let us first consider increasing price 1 while holding price 2 and income fixed. As we can see in the figure, the slope of the budget line will change. Since we are increasing only P1, keeping P2 and income fixed, the budget line will become steeper as seen in the figure. This is because the ratio P1 by P2 has increased. Even if you are spending all of your money on good 2, then increasing the price of good 1 doesn't change the maximum amount of good 2 you could buy. Thus the vertical intercept of the budget line doesn't change. But if you are spending all of your money on good 1 and good 1 becomes more expensive, then the consumption of good 1 must decrease in order to satisfy the budget constraint. Thus the horizontal intercept of the budget line must shift inward, resulting in the tilt. At the same time, if only P2 increases with P1 and income remains constant, then the budget line will be flatter. As P2 is higher, the slope of the budget line minus P1 by P2 decreases. As P2 is the denominator, it decreases in absolute value and the budget line will be flatter. This is because the intercept of x1 won't change, but the intercept of x2 tilts inward. Now what happens to the budget line when we change the prices of good 1 and good 2 at the same time? Suppose we double the prices of both good 1 and good 2. In this case, both the horizontal and vertical intercepts shifts inward and the budget line shifts inward as well. And also, multiplying both prices by 2 will be exactly like dividing the income by 2. Mathematically, it can be shown as P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to M is the original budget equation. And suppose that both prices becomes T times as large. Then T P1x1 plus T P2x2 is equal to M. When we take T out, T into P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to M by T. Thus multiplying both prices by a constant amount T is just like dividing income by the same constant T. It follows that if we multiply both prices by T and if we multiply income by T, then the budget line won't change at all. The conclusion just try to reaffirm what we have mentioned earlier, how the budget line shifts due to the change in prices of good 1, good 2 and income. See you in the next video. Thank you.